They ruled custom motorcycles on Discovery Channel. But when the cameras stopped rolling, American chopper stars lost everything. Bankruptcy filings revealed millions in debt. Family lawsuits erupted. One son vanished after suing for $250,000. Another battled addiction while his father expelled him. TV mansion foreclosed. The business empire fell. They are now scattered across the country, and their stories will shock you. Pohl Teutul Sr. yelled orders while building dream motorcycles and Orange County choppers, his giant arms folded and sunglasses on. Voice booming in shop. Pohl Teutul Sr. built more than bikes. He represented old-school toughness as a TV star and brand. Fans cheered every episode as engines roared and tempers flared. Off camera, the empire was crumbling. In February 2018, everything collapsed. He quietly filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, admitting he owed nearly $1,070,800 ringgit to nearly 50 creditors. Unfortunately, his assets were $1,729. Truth was even harsher. He earned $15,070, the 93 RDS a month, but spent $12,612 to survive. Almost nothing remained. Fans watched him proudly build a Montgomery, New York mansion on TV, but it went into foreclosure. His only option in 2019 was to sell it for $1.5 million. Wanted more than double. Every cent counted, so tools and farm animals were sold. The money problems weren't the only disaster. His business partner Thomas Derbyshire sued him for fraud in 2017. Derbyshire contributed $3 million to launch a new show, but Pohl Sr. spent it. The truth was in court papers. He skipped filming for a week to fish. He refused to work with hired staff. He silently took budget money to pay his son Michael's salary. He even traded dog food for his girlfriend's animal rescue project and got free gear for his shop. Every move was secret. Every deal was off. Legal chaos ensued. A federal judge found him in contempt in 2019 for not paying JTM Motorsports $17,000. They worked on his 2009 Corvette ZR1. He never paid. He owed Crawford $151,230.90 in back taxes. He also had $21,300 in credit card debt and more. He was accused of defrauding Central American investors of $12 to $15 million. It was related to his Florida OCC Roadhouse project. He left New York in March 2020. His famous shop was gone. Moving everything to Clearwater, Florida, he rebuilt the OCC Museum and Roadhouse. Name remained big. Loud bikes persisted. The glory was gone. The cash vanished. Trust was gone. He builds bikes and grips handlebars on YouTube at 76, acting like the old days never ended. Teutul Jr. Pohl Teutul Jr. represented a thriving empire. His custom choppers stunned the world. Discovery Channel featured his designs. He helped his father, Pohl Sr., make Orange County choppers famous. Fame was short-lived, and courtroom battles, betrayal, and bankruptcy nearly destroyed everything he had built. It started falling apart in 2008 when American Chopper was at its peak. Cameras were rolling when Pohl Sr. exploded at his son. The argument was old. They argued for years over who made decisions. It went further this time. Pohl Sr. fired his son live on TV. Suddenly, Jr. was out. No office, bikes, or crew. However, his name remained on the company. He owned 20% of Orange County choppers. The real war began there. Sr. wanted his son to own nothing. He activated a hidden buyout clause in their contract. He could completely expel Jr. Sr.'s appraiser valued the 20% unfairly at $0. Nothing. The son who helped build the company and designed their famous bikes was told his share meant nothing. Jr. resisted. Visited court. In December 2010, he won the appeal. A judge ruled the deal unenforceable. The value calculation was never agreed upon. Pohl Jr. kept his stake, but it was too late. The family was broken and the business a war zone. They signed a truce in 2009 to save the Discovery Channel deal, but tensions persisted. Trust was gone. Jr. restarted. Pohl Jr. founded a company. He moved his shop to Ship Bottom, New Jersey. He lacked the original crew, garage, and reality show empire. But he had his name, style, and hands. Big brands called Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Microsoft. They all got custom choppers from him. People still stared at the bikes. Despite success, money problems began. By March 2018, numbers revealed the truth. Chapter 13 Bankruptcy was filed by Pohl Jr. His assets were 180011700 ring 29s, but his debts were nearly as much. Deferred 893 farm, $1,070. In addition, he owed $51, $30, $98 in taxes. His $1.8 million Montgomery, New York mansion was his biggest asset. That house couldn't stop everything from falling apart. The collapse was painful and slow. Fame remained, but fortune had left. Pohl Jr. continues to play. He attends luxury motorbike races, judging fancy concourse events. He builds bikes, but he's left the empire he helped build. Orange County choppers continued without him. His net worth is $2 million, far below what it could have been. His bikes were exhibited worldwide. A family garage became a global brand with his help. He lost the shop, the name, and the trust of the man who taught him everything. Despite going from television royalty to bankruptcy court in a decade, he kept building. People watched American Chopper for the roaring engines, custom bikes, and wild fights between Pohl Sr. and Pohl Jr. But one person always brought some order to the chaos. Mikey Teutul didn't build bikes, neither screaming nor wrenching. At Orange County Choppers, he joked, answered phones, and cleaned up. He was the weak link in a hard metal show. Most people didn't realize Mikey's real battle wasn't with his family, with himself, with the bottle. The drinking began quietly, like background noise in his life. As the seasons changed, the noise increased. Mikey's addiction affected others. It destroyed everything in his world. Dad, Pohl Sr., built the business from scratch and couldn't handle it. This was no ordinary break. Pohl Sr. expelled Mikey from Orange County Choppers. Shop, show, and family business were gone in one. A brutal choice. Fans noticed Mikey disappearing from episodes. Not at the builds. He wasn't background. People asked what was going on, but the truth was darker than expected. Mikey had to enter rehab because he had reached a low point. Defend his life or lose everything. Trouble followed him after sobriety. Photojournalist Scott Gunnels sued Mikey, Pohl Sr., and Orange County Choppers for copyright infringement in 2019. Mikey was photographed by Gunnels in 2013. These photos appeared on the show, Facebook, and merchandise. Hoodies cost $39.99. T-shirts $19.95. One of Mikey's art exhibition images had his logo cut out. He didn't consent. A federal judge sided with Gunnels on February 18th to 20th. Pohl Sr. was fined $258,484.45 for unauthorized image use. It hit a family already bruised by years of legal and emotional damage hard. Money problems continued. Mikey bought a house from his mother Paula in 2004 for $550,000. It was quiet in Montgomery, New York. However, he sold that home for $460,000 5 years later in 2009. His net worth dropped from $2 million to $1 million after losing $90,000. The issue went beyond money. He watched his life shrink in every direction. Fame faded. He was no longer known for motorcycles or laughter. It was linked to addiction, lawsuits, and silence. Mikey kept trying. He started rebuilding after rehab, court battles, and losing the family home. He rejoined Orange County Choppers. Assistant General Manager, not star. He managed Facebook. He kept things moving. The role was small but steady. FarQ Products LLC, his company, sold homemade gourmet pasta sauces. Making something genuine was more important than fame. Founded an art gallery in Montgomery. He displayed his metal sculptures and paintings, which spoke without sound. Vinnie Martino. Vinnie Martino left Orange County Choppers in August 2007 with his tools. His 5 years there included building some of the show's most famous bikes. Fans admired his calmness, clean lines, and skill. But when he gave his notice, Pohl Teutul Sr. looked at the camera and said, "Everyone's replaceable. No thanks, no handshake, no respect." A cold sentence that hit Vinnie harder than a punch. He left without arguing. But he continued. He joined OCC's Cody Connelly, a young builder. Also, they opened V-Force Customs in Rock Tavern, New York. Time wasn't wasted. Clients came, bikes were built, and the shop started strong. Vinnie and Pohl Jr. appeared in American Chopper, Sr. vs. Jr. in 2010. He appeared in 55 of 65 episodes. Things seemed to be falling into place for Four Seasons. Realistic dream. But the world outside the shop was changing fast. The crash followed. The 2008 financial crisis shook more than banks and stocks. It ruined custom motorcycles. By late 2013, custom choppers were obsolete. People didn't buy. Culture that powered shows and shops was gone. The quality of Vinnie's work didn't matter. No buyers remained. The losses grew. V-Force Customs failed. Vinnie sold his dream-building equipment one by one. Lathes, welders, paint guns gone. He quietly closed the shop. No spotlight, no goodbye. Just doors closing and dreams coming in. Vinnie made a painful turn that year. With what was left, he opened Martino Motorsports in Montgomery. This wasn't about expensive bikes or cable TV. To keep the lights on, he fixes cars and light trucks for locals instead of designing custom choppers for the world. No cameras or fans leaning over the ropes in the garage. Just grease, tools, and honest work. About $1 million is his estimated net worth. That number seems small for someone who once appeared on a hit reality show, but he built it by himself, without shortcuts or scripts. When Vinnie left in 2007, he proved something. He didn't need Pohl Sr.'s okay. He survived without fame. He just needed self-confidence to start over. He persevered when everything fell apart. Petco. Rick Petco drove 90 minutes to work from Pennsylvania every day for 13 years. After each day, he repeated it. 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, stuck in traffic between trucks and taillights to reach the loudest shop on TV. From July 2003 to 2016, Rick automated that routine. Rick quietly built bikes and showed up while the Teutul's at Orange County choppers threw wrenches, broke furniture, and screamed across the floor. None of the characters noticed the road eating him alive. He got well paid. Rick received $13,000 in addition to his OCC salary for each episode. Checks added up. His wealth reached $1.75 million when he left. But all that money cost something off-screen. The store was chaos. The cameras never stopped. The fights happened. Rick was more focused on his steering wheel than his wife. He wed in 2012. That changed everything. He noticed how much of his life was drained. Driving hours. Watching seniors and juniors yell about deadlines, frames, and loyalty wastes energy. The show made him famous. Though rich, it didn't make him happy. In 2016, Rick made the move most people talk about but never do. Walked away. No more TV cams. No more episode bonuses or driving 1.5 hours to walk into a yelling storm. Rick moved home with his tools. Not just to Pennsylvania, but locally. This time, his new job was minutes away. He joined Pocono Mountain Harley-Davidson in Stroudsburg, where the commute wasn't fatal. Telling the Pocono record the truth. It was great while it lasted. It wasn't my core, though. He works from his farmhouse. His company, RPD & Co. Others, makes custom knives and wedding bands. He attends motorcycle shows with his family. He makes things by hand again, without shouting, cameras, or drama. Cody Connelly. Young Cody Connelly was 14 when he joined Orange County Choppers. Most kids his age were still doing homework in 2001. Cody was already welding and learning from the Teutul family on national television. He wasn't a background kid. He became one of the youngest and most talented bike fabricators on screen as he grew up. The Cody project was his special build in Season 1. Not just for show. That bike sold at 2003 Daytona Beach Bike Week. Once, Cody seemed to have everything. To improve his skills, Pohl Teutul Sr. paid for him to attend the American Motorcycle Institute. Everything appeared dreamlike. The truth came out quickly. Cody left in October 2007. He was 20, but the break was loud. Everyone who watched the show was shocked when he sued Pohl Sr. and Orange County Choppers. Everyone's favorite kid sued his former family man. Cody said they used his face on merchandise after he left. Never paid him for posters, coloring books, or gear. Money wasn't the worst part. That moment was filmed. Pohl Sr. gave Cody the keys to a custom chopper and claimed ownership. Cody denied receiving that bike. Keys were for the audience, not life. He demanded $250,000 in damages. Cody explained that he didn't know his rights when people asked why he waited so long. He was young. The case was delayed until 2011, then settled out of court. Drama-free ending. No public apology, just silence. Cody then vanished from motorcycles. He left the film industry that made him famous. His Pine Bush, New York demolition company, Revel Ranch Excavation, was his new venture. Now he works with dirt, septic systems, land clearing, and drainage. He married and has a daughter. He rarely uses social media. The boy who welded petrol tanks on camera now digs into soil in private. Jason Pohl, an early 2004 OCC designer, followed. A pinball game artist, he made digital choppers before the show. But Pohl Sr. saw his work and hired him as senior designer. At first, Jason's designs were sensational. He had crazy ideas and futuristic tech skills. Not everyone liked him online. Indeed, they hated him. Viewers called him arrogant. Fans decried him for trolling message boards to defend himself. They probably knew Jason was the most hated guy on American Chopper, according to one blogger. His motorcycle drawings were criticized for not looking real. Pohl Sr. kept telling him a sketch needed to be writable. Pohl Sr. losing it over Jason's build and calling it a cake decorator during the Senior versus Junior spinoff was the most brutal. Jason cried on camera. He took the designs personally and was crushed when the company owner trashed them in public. OCC Pohl Jr. and Jesse James built a tank-like bike with flamethrowers in 2011. Jason helped design it. Poor results. The web laughed. Tough bikers rolled their eyes. Critics said it looked like a video game fantasy, not a bike. That joke stuck with Jason. By February 2018, OCC was crumbling. Pohl Sr. declared Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Credit card debt exceeded $66,000 and 8 lawsuits were pending. After that, Jason's screen time dropped rapidly. He left in March 2020. He moved to Florida in 2021 and never looked back. Now a SolidWorks brand ambassador. He designs beyond bikes and TVs. About $700,000 is his estimated net worth. No more yelling or flames. Just 3D models, software, and peace. Nick Hansford. Nick Hansford quietly built bikes and kept his life together while the Orange County Choppers crew argued on camera and broke down in court. Both he and Christian Welter had dreams bigger than their shops after training at the American Motorcycle Institute in Florida. Nick's early jobs at Pompano Fats and Daytona Choppers helped him learn, but Bike Week 2000 changed everything. There, he met Teutul Sr., who saw his quiet confidence and hired him as a technician and distributor at OCC. Nick left Florida for New York in 2002 for family reasons. His life changed after that decision. He worked at OCC as a full-time mechanic for 17 years, appearing on American Chopper and Orange County Choppers until 2019. Nick kept his cool and worked while others screamed on screen or in court. He avoided lawsuits, feuds, bankruptcy, and drama. Despite not becoming a star, he became stable. No one knows what he does now, but he lives in Virginia with his wife and at least 2 children. He doesn't say or post. He vanished. By choice. Christian Welter. Christian Welter's story was steady but unique. His birth date is September 9, 1978, in New Jersey. He dormed with Nick Hansford at the American Motorcycle Institute. One flatmate connection changed everything. Christian joined OCC in its inaugural season in 2002. He wasn't showy. He avoided conflict. Just worked. His duties as shop foreman and head mechanic included wiring, assembly, and most technical work on every custom chopper that left the shop. Christian checked the bikes in the back while Pohl Sr. and Jr. yelled and stormed off. Unlike the crew, he avoided public disasters. Christian wasn't included in Pohl Sr.'s 2018 bankruptcy, which had monthly expenses over $12,600. He was employed. He kept things tidy. Since 12, he'd taken private drum lessons for 7 years. After Steve Morrow, OCC's general manager, learned, they formed a band. They practiced in the boiler room and released a 10-song album. Christian said it was rushed and never showed their potential, but it happened. OCC retained him until 2016, when he quietly left. No lawsuits, headlines, or meltdowns, just years of steady work and silent exits. Daniel Teutul. He wasn't on the show or involved in fights or public flames like Pohl Jr., but his fate nearly destroyed the empire. Pohl Sr.'s second oldest son was Daniel. And in 2004, he took over the family's original business, OC Ironworks. Though it appeared as a gift, something else was going on. A bankruptcy trustee named Tom Genova filed a shocking complaint in 2007. He claimed Daniel and his family stripped OC Ironworks of everything valuable. moving equipment, employees, and accounts into Orange County Ironworks LLC without paying for it. Old company bankrupted. Creditors got nothing. It wasn't just sloppy business. Fraud was alleged. Daniel was 32 and facing a huge fine when the dust settled in December 2008. He was ordered to pay $500,000. Pohl Jr. and Sr. paid $50,000 each. Daniel's penalty was 10x theirs. The average American earned $40,000 at the time. Not just a fine, a wrecking ball. But Daniel persisted. He didn't cry on TV. He didn't declare bankruptcy. He resumed work. He worked for years to rebrand and expand the company. His second company was Gabriel Steel. By 2024, he had 69 employees, up from 35. Even more surprisingly, he built the massive OCC headquarters. Same one that made his brothers famous on TV. His contribution was never acknowledged. He was never the brand's face. But he had literally built it all behind the scenes. Daniel turned a $500,000 scandal into one of New York's strongest steel businesses, while his brothers fought in front of cameras and lost millions.